Futures and options on futures trading involve substantial risk and is not a suitable investment for all types of investors. Past results are not necessarily indicative of future results. When I use the word I in this video, it refers to what I teach in my charting course or what I author in my twice daily oral and written updates. Prices shown on charts and quote boards are in real time and take into account all known activity up to this point in time. And if you'd like to read more of this disclaimer, simply hit the pause key on your video player. Good day, all. Ira Epstein of Linden Associates with your weekend agriculture update. And this is for Friday, the 15th of September, 2017. We're about 3:10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Beans fell back today. Wheat up. Corn up on the day. Cotton just can't seem to get itself going one way or the other. The dollar got hit today. The stock markets rallied, and remember, we had the North Korean event overnight that really created havoc in some of the markets like gold, driving it at first up to 1338.20 and then dropping it right on its butt, finishing the day here, as you can see, near the 1325 level. Now, as we take a look at the monthly chart, remember on the weekend we do something a little bit different. We review first the monthly chart, then we go into all the weekly charts for the longer term perspective. You've gone from 1208.5 down recently, and this is a monthly chart, so that's about 4 months ago, to $9. Bounced up. We had an inside, well, we're having an inside month at this point. We have not taken out August's highs or lows. When we switch switch charts to an area chart of closes on a weekly basis, you've gone from $10.75 to $935.5 and have bounced now since that $935.5 to $968.75. So far what the market's doing is it's bouncing, but it hasn't put out a sign that it's ready to really move to the upside in any manner. As we take this chart and move it over to the weekly bar chart by itself, we're having an outside week up. That means you took out the previous week's low and high, closed higher for the week. What that's going to do is it's going to take these swing lines and make them point higher. So you're going to have higher lows, higher highs. That defines a trend. An uptrend is called higher highs, higher lows. It would be violated if the market fell back immediately and took out this week's low of 937.5. The battleground has been the 18-week moving average of closes, and now we've rallied up to and challenging the 100-week moving average of closes. Because the market is over the 18-week, I say the bias is up, and we know the trend is up from the swing line so far. If the market can exceed the 100-week moving average of closes and close next week even higher, the odds would favor a challenge, could happen right away, of 1008.25. If prices fall back from here, first support comes in around 952.5, and momentum on a weekly basis is pointing gradually to the upside. So suddenly the grains have come, and they're, for the first time in a while, the beans are pointing a bit higher. When I go to the meal market, on a weekly basis, the meal is turned up. You got higher lows, higher highs. Now, because meal and soybeans both, in this particular case, have outside weeks up, should either of them take out this week's lows, it would be called a bull trap in the one that does so, or the ones that do so, and that would put the lower Bollinger Bands in play as a possible target. So that's how I think the bulls are going to be looking at the market. They've taken control temporarily of these two parts of the market. We had the crush today, and the crush, as it turned out, didn't drive the markets one way or the other. In the soybean oil market, you're in a period of time where you've hit the upper Bollinger Band, very different than what you're doing in the meal or the soybeans. You've come up here, ran into resistance, and you're falling back. Momentum is actually trying to turn down. It didn't quite do it. What you want to do in order to get that is get the red number under the blue. It's called the K line in red. The blue is the D line. Get them to reverse and point down. Haven't done that, so I'll just call this a correction in a market that's taking place. In the corn market, the market has finally stuck its head back over, and it's continuing to the upside over the lower Bollinger Band bottom. So prices got too cheap at 328.5. They came back, rallied last week. Now this week they came back, challenged that Bollinger Band, couldn't go anywhere, and you're getting a reversal to the upside. There's pretty good resistance in this market between the 18-week average of closes at 365.5 and 362.25 in the 100-day average of closes. The wheat market is still in a downtrend. You can see the momentum, though, is trying to turn itself to the upside. It's done it today. The market has now crossed the first resistance point of the 100-week moving average. The more formidable resistance is probably the 18-week, but you can't get an uptrend going because you'd have to take out right now all the way up here at 6.7. What is that? That's 517.75 in order to get the market, what? To negate the pattern of lower highs and lower lows. It can happen, but that's pretty far away to do so. It's nearly 70 cents. In the cocoa market, you've entered an uptrend. You have a market that's got higher lows, higher highs. Therefore, the trend of the market points to the upside. The bias is up because the market closed over the 18-week average of closes, and momentum is pointing up. Should the market be able to carry through, 2082 is the next target. The trend would end if the market were to take out 1940 because it would break the pattern of higher lows and higher highs. In the sugar market, there's a common theme that you're going to see here. The soft commodities are starting to lift up. I think it has to do with the weak dollar, though. Higher lows, higher highs over the 18-week moving average of closes, bias up, trend up, and now momentum pointing up. If this market can extend it, the upper Bollinger Band at 1560 becomes the next target. This pattern breaks and goes into neutral territory if you take out 1367. In the coffee market, remember I told you everything's pointing up. Higher lows, higher highs, bullish. It sliced right through the 100-day average of closes as though it didn't exist. Next target, upper Bollinger Band, momentum still pointing higher on this chart. The market that has come down but not broken the overall swing line trend, believe it or not, is the cotton. It would have to take out 67.25. So if it's going to rescue itself and keep a pattern of higher lows and higher highs, it has to pick up and get going now. If it takes out the 67.25, that part of the game is over. Momentum has turned down. The bias is down. The trend is up as defined by the swing line. It is a confusing chart. In the cattle market, we still have downside momentum, but we're getting a heck of a bounce. That's about all that I could say about it on a longer-term basis. You still have lower highs, lower lows on a weekly chart. Momentum trying to give you a little turn here, but hasn't succeeded in doing a lot of that. In the hog market, you still have downside momentum, getting your first bounce away from the lower Bollinger Band, still in a downtrend. To negate the downtrend, you got to take out 64.45. So when I look at the whole market, put everything together, interesting times ahead. Pivot points. Let me explain what these are because they're fun to use. Let's assume that you're trying to get and have a day trade in the market. Let's assume you're looking for an entry spot and your moving averages aren't letting you in other parts. Another formula that traders use are called pivot points. They look at the previous day's high, low, and close. From that formula, they determine 2 buy points, I've shown them in blue, 2 sell points above the market. The median is just a point that if you were to sell the market at one of the sells, you're looking to come out there. If you buy, you're looking to come out there. It's an entryway. It's an in and out trade method. I explain it in great detail in 2 videos that I made. One of them I use PowerPoints to show you what it's all made out of, how the formula works, how it's plotted. Then the next one I show you how to use in your charting tools, and just about all the charting services contain pivot points, and how to plot them on your chart and go from there. Later this month, you'll have a 3rd video where I show momentum with this. I'm saving that one for right now. How do you get this? Because it's free. Just go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. You'll see a carousel of free offers. This will be there. You can always call us. We'll do that too. You can also, if you're watching me on YouTube, click right up here. There's an icon that'll take you to the forums. Or underneath us on many websites, it says, click here for Ira's free offers. Do so, and away you'll go that way. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day, and I'll talk to you all Monday.